I'm sorry for referring to the jingle as crap, but, well, that's what it is.
Welcome into my house. Come along and follow me to a place that you've never been, a mystic fantasy. Take a ride and go with me in a time and a space. I'll show you things that you never knew existed in another place.
I played that in response to a listener who indeed was paying close attention to the records played in this programme, a listener who pointed out with some accuracy, I have to say, that I haven't played that record for months, so I thought perhaps the time had come to play it. It's one of my favourite records. It's from an album called Welcome to Tomorrow. It's from a band called Suddenly, featuring Snap, and it's a song called, you probably realise, it's Welcome to Tomorrow. I can't tell you why I like that. It's just something ingrained in my heart, and every time I hear that, my heart melts.
Well, that's up to you, but you know,
It's probably too much, I know.
I think
I played it too often.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I haven't played it for months, and that's one of the reasons why I thought I should play it today.
No.
And speaking of music, have you watched did you see The Voice on Saturday night?
I lasted about 20 minutes.
Very interesting programme.
No, I don't
Now, first
like
of all,
it.
of course you don't like it. I know you don't like it by its very nature. I know before I ask you. We have to congratulate, of course, Jessica Hammond from Belfast, and indeed our own Ben Kelly from Derry Soup Londonderry,
yeah.
who were very successful. It must be a very, very strange thing now. Jessica and Ben, of course, nice people that they seem to be. Do you realise that 3 minutes before they went on that programme, that they could have walked down the street and they were totally anonymous and nobody cared about them. Nobody gave two hoots about. No way, nobody cares about us. Gives two hoots about us. And then 3 minutes after they're on the show, Tom Jones is pleading to help them. You know, and all the best producers in the world are dying to make things happen for them. What must that do to your head? And it's a very strange thing. Do you know? Hello, are you still there?
I'm still with you.
I'm sorry, I thought maybe perhaps you drifted away.
No, no.
Recently I went to America, as you know, last November, and I spent some time in LA, and I happened to have lunch with the guy who invented that program, and I spent a very, very interesting hour talking to him about The Voice.
Yeah.
His name is Mark Burnett, and he invented it's his program, and it was on America first, and then it was on our RTE, and now it's in Britain. And he told me I can't really recount the conversation because between two moguls.
Well, yes.
Moguls. When moguls talk, they don't share that with ordinary people. But he told me some very interesting things, and my impression of what he said to me, I can't tell you what he said, but it's obvious that it's all about the judges. The people are immaterial. I mean, I'm not giving away any secret when I say that. It's all about the judges. It's not about the singers. They're peripheral. They don't matter. And that's the thing that the people who take part in these competitions should realise. It's not about them. People think, oh, it's about me. I'm going to be a star. It's not about them. It's about the judges. And one of the things I think is very important about that programme is the extent to which people watching don't realise how much they're being manipulated. As a social anthropologist, I can spot these things. So there's a thing for you. Do you know the way you're studying 101 social anthropology?
Yes.
You should take a look at The Voice and make notes on it. And figure in what ways the people are being made to think that some person is good. First of all, you have to think about the sound, the way they manipulate the sound, and the way the judges, it's apparently nearly everything that they say is scripted, because no judge ever speaks together at the same time. Do you know the way in ordinary conversation I might overlap your conversation?
Yeah.
Do you notice that never happens in The Voice? Nobody, for instance, when I'm talking to you, you're not talking now because I know you don't talk on a Monday morning because you're tired.
No, I'm listening to you.
See what we just did there now?
Yes, but
see what we just did there now?
Yes.
You talk and I talk at the same time?
Yes.
That never happens in The Voice. Never happens. Why does it never happen? Because that's normal conversation. Because it's choreographed not to happen.
There's the same thing on the X Factor.
Same thing exactly. If people actually watch the X Factor, I'm not knocking these programs. I find them very interesting.
No, I can't. No, I watched
No, but see, but you just hate anything that has young people in it.
No, I watched that program on Saturday night for this purpose, for this reason. Now that I knew you would talk to me about it, and you would say to me, "Why did you not watch it? Why did you not watch it?" And I said, "Right, I'll give it my best shot." And I watched it, and I kept looking at it, but the lure of the crossword in the Daily Mirror got to me. I says, "No."
That's a very sad reflection on the way you are.
I'm away with my crossword.
You see, that's what people who retired people do that. You shouldn't do that. You should not go to another room and do a crossword whilst the program is on. Now that's a very interesting program. X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. Very interesting. If you look at it not from a point of view of a punter who's watching it for entertainment, don't look at it from that point of view. Try and figure out what they're actually doing.
Yeah, but see, I can't do what you do. When I put on
that's because you'll never be an anthropologist.
Well, I'm only learning. I'm only in my first year.
Well, how are you expected to learn unless you
I'm in
apply
my first
yourself?
year, and I'm now talking to you. And you're guiding me. Could you not take me in another direction?
No, that's the only direction to
I
go.
don't want to go down the TV road. I put on the TV to watch something that's going to entertain me, something that's going to keep me interested in watching it.
Well, what do you want me to do? Make you travel around with a bunch of travellers? That kind of thing? And study, make notes of that?
Put me in a different direction. Don't ask me to watch TV if it's not entertaining. If I'm watching it, I mean...
Well, what do you regard as being entertaining? You're doing the crossword in the Daily Mail, for God's sake.
Well, 20 minutes of The Voice, I thought was good for me.
Good for you.
Yeah, I thought, come on. I says, come on, you're doing well here.
People love it. People love Britain's Got Talent.
I'm not saying they had something like 8 million viewers.
Mm-hmm. But I wonder why people love it. Is it because they really think it's good? Do people realise
you think about
do people realise how they're being manipulated by the people who make the program?
Sure, look at the ads and the TV. Sure, here we are talking about a program that you don't like and I don't like, and we're sitting here talking about it.
And do you ever notice too that once it comes up to the program,
horrible program.
No, in a program when you get a big program like that, Britain's Got Talent or indeed The Voice, do you notice that like 2 weeks up to that, something always happens to people like Simon Cowell. He gets now, for instance, he's been burgled now. See, there's always a page story. I mean, that's just coincidental that those front page stories just happen to be there around about the time when the programme is launched or the day after. When you take all this into consideration, you realise how much the whole thing has been set up. It's
I'd
amazing.
rather talk about
I think it's
Liverpool.
I think it's fascinating. No, don't talk about football. That's
That's can we not move on? That's what I mean.
What do you mean, can we not move on? This is
away
called the
from-
Gerry Anderson Show.
We couldn't get away from that subject.
No, I think it's a fascinating subject, and everybody wants to talk about it, but everybody's
do
talking about it the
not.
wrong way. Everybody's saying, "Oh, isn't your man really good?" That's nothing to do with it. The people who are singing don't matter. It's nothing to do with it. It's all about a bigger thing. It's all about the judges, and it's all about the program. The people are just disposable. Would you please play a recording by Brian Kennedy about the legendary ballad singer Margaret Barry? Did you ever hear of that? Did you ever hear Brian Kennedy singing a song about Margaret Barry?
No.
Did you?
No.
Incidentally, says this person, John Doyle, we would like to invite you to the inaugural Margaret Barry Memorial Concert at the Community Centre in Lawrencetown near Banbridge next Saturday night. 31st of March, of course, at 7:30 p.m, featuring the award-winning group Crewbeen. What's a Crewbeen?
I know. No, don't
Come
tell
on,
me.
come
No,
on.
don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Call yourself an Irishman.
No, don't tell me what it is.
I just dropped in for your Crewbeen. I'll only stay a while. I want to know how
Is
your
it a spud?
Crewbeen is. It's a pig's trotter, for God's sake.
Oh, is it?
It's a
Oh.
pig's foot.
Well, it was
Can I tell the
close.
story about the pig's foot?
You did. You told it before.
And the Barry family, who are direct descendants of Margaret Barry. Did you ever hear Margaret Barry singing?
Did you knew Margaret Barry?
Yes, I did. I used to attend duets by Margaret Barry and the Peckerdun. You haven't lived until you've seen Peckerdun and Margaret Barry singing outside a Gaelic ground in somewhere like Sligo. I saw them one time in Galway. I couldn't believe it. It was like a world that had gone by. It was like being projected back to Barry Lyndon. Did you ever see that film Barry Lyndon by Stanley Kubrick? Did you ever see it? Hello?
No, I'm listening to you.
I know, but sometimes people answer.
Yeah, I know.
Did you ever see it?
No, tell me about it.
Barry Lyndon, a wonderful book by Thackeray. It was about young Redmond, I can't remember his name now, a young man in the 18th century, a young Irish lad who took off and became very, well, had a very interesting life. Joined the army, was shot, stuff, married all kinds of strange people. A very adventurous life. And Barry Lyndon, which is what he became, and Stanley Kubrick made a wonderful film of it. The Chieftains did the music. I told you the story about the Chieftains, about the music, didn't I?
You didn't tell us too much about the film or the book.
Well, I don't want to be telling you about the film. It's just about a young man's life in 18th century Ireland.
Yeah.
And his travels across the
Tell us about
continent.
him.
And he meets all these wonderful women.
Sure.
Much like my own life.
Is that- yeah.
I identified with it strongly. I remember talking to Paddy Maloney one time out of the Chieftains, you know, the fellow who plays the flute. And he was telling me about, they did the music for Barry Lyndon. I recommend anyone who is a film fan, get the DVD of Barry Lyndon and just put it in your TV and just watch it. Just sit. It's very slow, and it's not the way movies are now. But just watch it. It was made in 1970 something. Just watch it because it's a work of art. Every frame in it looks like a painting that you'd see in a museum, or indeed an art gallery. And he was saying to me that Stanley Kubrick,
Who said you?
Paddy Maloney,
Oh, sorry.
the flute player with the Chieftains.
yeah.
And Stanley Kubrick, when he was alive, of course, lived in England all his life. Most of his life he went to England. He never actually left it. And he contacted Paddy Maloney and said, could you come and talk to me? So he came to talk to Stanley Kubrick, and Stanley Kubrick said, listen, I'm doing this film called Barry Lyndon after the book, and I want you to think about it, read the book, and I've got all these storyboards here. I'll give you little notes and stuff like that, and come back with some kind of an idea about a theme, about music, you know, what kind of thing would be suitable for this type of subject, this type of thing. So he said, come back to me in a month's time. So Paddy Maloney says, all right, I'll come back to you. So Paddy Maloney actually had to go to Los Angeles about a month later because Stanley Kubrick had to go there. And he went to see Stanley Kubrick in Los Angeles purely to talk about the music. And Stanley Kubrick, he said, well, Paddy, well, what have you got for me? So Paddy reaches in his top pocket and lifts out a little tin whistle and goes, and Stanley Kubrick says, are you taking a piss? He thought he was having them on. He threw him out.
Is that the story?
Yeah, and then he came back because he didn't understand how Paddy worked. You see, when Paddy takes out the flute, Paddy can hear the whole band. But you see, he didn't hear the band. Once he understood that, he realised what wee Paddy meant. And then he took it back, he apologised, and then they got together and they did the soundtrack for the movie, and it's fantastic. You don't care about any of this.
No, I'll tell you what I've started to do this last 2 weeks.
I don't know what.
I don't know if it's part of my course or not. I'm not sure.
Anthropology?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking at men's necks.
Well, there's no future in that.
Thank you.
Don't do it, because they notice it.
Men.
They notice when you look at their neck. It's very hard. It's like when you look at a girl's cleavage. They like it, but they pretend they don't. Dirty old Brit, looking at my chest.
Emma says no.
What?
Emma says no. You're wrong.
Emma says no what? They like it.
Girls don't like.
They do like it, but they pretend they don't. You do. Come on, deep in your heart. It's because you're pregnant, you're not yourself, Emma. Remember when you were single and thin?
I'm shocked.
Emma says she's shocked.
At what?
I'm thinking we like it.
You thinking the girls like it?
Well, why do they show them if they don't want people to look at them? Why? Well, I mean, it's because it's healthy. Because they want the air to get at them. Is that the reason? When people come out there with their boobs sticking out, they don't want people to look at them.
Come on,
Of course
Emma.
they do. Come on. Why would you wear a low cut dress? Why?
Me? I can't.
No,
not me. No, well, stop putting pressure on me. Emma's looking at me. Everyone, you're looking at me. Why is
all
everyone
I'm
looking
saying,
at me?
I hope you don't think I sound sexist here, but all I'm
Emma,
saying is
answer
that
the question.
don't be
Because it's hot.
Don't be
I'm
putting
under.
pressure
I'm
on
under
them.
pressure.
Don't be putting pressure
Because
on
it's
them,
hot. Emma said they wear a low cut dress on warm days.
But yeah, the Christmas dues. Yeah, dress dance Christmas Eve. No, but I'm not putting any pressure, and nor am I being sexist. All I'm saying is, in my opinion, as a qualified social anthropologist, I'm a dip conted, remember? I have letters after my name. It is my
But
theory.
where does a man's neck sag? At what age?
A man's neck should begin to sag when he's 50, if he's lucky. Some of the less fortunate among us have saggy necks when they're 40, and the real, sad sacks, theirs start to sag about 30. But if you look after yourself, you could have a firm neck. Now look at mine.
Yeah, but a lot of I
pay a lot of attention to this neck here. This neck is well groomed.
there's necks that sag from the chin.
That's the old
Right
five chin.
back.
That's why God invented beards. Any man who has a beard all his life, and I suspect that you're probably like that. Why did you had a beard for many years?
Aye.
Why did you have a beard?
Well, first of all, it was fashionable.
I know, but no man has a beard unless there's something
18
about his
years.
face he wants to hide. Did
no.
you think your chin was weak?
No,
Well, did you think you had a kind of a thin lip or something?
no. I didn't think anything. I just.
I
grew a
don't. I
beard.
think your chin is weak. I think it is, and I think
But
you
my
said,
chin's not. My chin's not. Drooping.
Emma, have a look at him.
I'm just
What's wrong
sitting
with
here.
his face? Why would he?
No,
no,
my
Emma, look
chin.
at him.
I'm just sitting here now, normal. And
I know
Emma's-
you're normal.
Emma's
Emma, look
looking
at him
me
and say to me,
side on.
look at him and say, can you see any reason why he would have a beard? You don't have to actually point out what the weak point is, but just say yes or no.
No.
No. Well, why did you have a beard? Because it was fashionable?
Yeah.
All right. Then. Good enough answer. That'll do me fine.
I'll tell you who started me.
Who?
Um,
You don't have to name these people.
no, the man of the Hollies. What do you call him?
I don't know.
Yeah, Graham. No,
Yes.
not Graham. No.
Yes,
no,
Nash,
no.
Nash.
Nash.
Yes.
Nash.
Okay.
There's a call for you.
Okay.
I wanted to be like him. He had a little goatee, and he made goatees fashionable then.
Anyway, all I can say is The Voice. Congratulations to Jessica Hammond from Belfast and Ben Kelly, and I hope it does them well, and I hope they're not discarded in favour of what might be something else. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is that Gerry?
Yes, it is. How are you?
Gerry, not too bad. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
I tell you what it is. My name's Judith, and I'm phoning from Warrenstown. I'm looking to see if there's any gardening people out there looking any roll-out turf at the moment, Gerry.
Hold on a second. You're going too quick for me.
You're okay?
Roll out turf?
Roll-out turf.
What is that?
My husband and I were doing our garden, and we over-ordered too much of the roll-out turf. And we've probably about a full pallet of 50 rolls left over.
Right.
So we're looking to see if there's any good gardeners out there looking any turf free of charge if they come and take it away, Gerry.
What is rolled out turf? Is that like a lawn or something?
It's like a lawn. It's ready-made grass. We bought it from Evergreen Lawns up there at Londonderry.
Yes.
So we did. It was just delivered there on Thursday. And if anybody's looking, it would need to be laid within the next couple of days.
Oh, I've seen that place you're talking about. They have big
Yes.
fields on the outsides of Derrystoke, Londonderry, and
That's
every once in a
right.
while it looks as if somebody gave the fields a haircut.
Yes, we were able to do our garden within a couple of days. The neighbours couldn't believe it. We had grass.
Well, how come you know, this is the thing I've never understood about grass, and I remember a gardener laughing at me one time. I remember I moved into this new house a long time ago, and there was just mud in front of it, you know the usual thing. And this gardener came along, he said, "Do you want me to do that for you?" I said, "Do what?" He said, "Do your garden for you." I said, "Well, what needs to be done?" He said, "What about the grass?" I said, "Does the grass not just come?" He said, "No, it doesn't just come," he said. I said, "Well,
It's
it
like
comes
carpet.
it just comes everywhere else. You look at all the whole ground, you look at hills and mountains, everywhere you look, there's sheep eating it. Every field there's grass. Why doesn't the grass not come to my lawn?" He said, "It just doesn't come. You have to plant it." And I said, "Well, who's planting the whole country? Can you tell me why grass just doesn't come?"
Goodness, I don't know, Gerry, but I've had to put up with about stones for about 5 years in my garden because my hubby had wedding cars. So we've just got our garden back down again for the sake of the children. So it's brilliant. It's just like carpet. You just lay it and water it, and it then takes to the ground. So it does.
And
So it's
that's
a
it.
brilliant job.
And how much of it do you think you have?
I probably have about 50 to 60 rolls, Gerry, of it
All
left
right,
over.
then. Okay, where did you say, what area do you live in again?
Town, County Armagh.
All right, then. Anybody out? No, I can't
Anybody
imagine.
out in that area looking it's free of charge if they would like to come and manhandle it and take it away. It's
Free of
sold-
charge? Oh, you're giving it away?
I'm giving it away free, Gerry. I'm being very kind.
Very good, that's what.
So it is. So if there's anybody out there, it was a bit like myself, has put up with a garden full of stones for years, is thinking that when the good weather of getting their garden done up again, like certainly they might as well take the advantage and take it away and use it.
So this is basically what you're offering people is an instant lawn.
Yes, I'm offering an instant lawn. It's just like me coming out and carpeted their lawn, Gerry.
All right, then. So there you are, a lawn free of charge.
A lawn free of charge. And I also have some 2x2 flags, which was on the patio. And there's about 20 of them if anybody would need them for like a dog kennel.
Oh, my God.
So that's the two things I'm giving away free of charge at the moment.
Well, that's very generous of you, and I have to
No
say,
problem.
no generous offer has come this way for many a year.
No problem, but that's no problem.
All right,
Well,
so
I just want to give you a wee ring in because I know there's a lot of people listening to your show, Gerry, and
Yes.
I might as well, instead of taking it to the dump and disposing of it, somebody else might as well get the advantage of it.
All right, and the biggest lawn in the country.
Yes, yes.
Right, the number to ring if you want to contact this programme, if you're interested in taking that lawn off the lady's hands, is 08459 555 678, and we'll give out your number.
That's brilliant, Gerry. Thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
very
doing
much.
that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you now. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
bye. I've never given away a lawn before.
Did you do any gardening at the weekend?
Never. I've never done any gardening.
Hey,
I told you about my garden. A hedgehog thought that nobody lived in it.
I cut
And
the
the
grass.
hedgehog lived in the middle of the garden, and he'd never seen anyone in it. And then I came out one day, and it frightened the life out of him. He thought it was his garden. My hedgehog was in my garden for a year, and he never saw a human being in the garden until one day the sun came out, and I walked out, and he just went, "Jesus, what?" And he ran away. He never came back. I think I traumatized it. He thought it was his lawn.
well, who cuts the grass?
Some man comes round.
We get some man in, do we?
Yeah, do you think I'm going to go out and clean the grass and cut it?
You couldn't clean the grass.
I know a certain man, and you know him too. And I used to watch him from my window.
Uh-huh.
And know what he used to do? Every once in a while, there'd be a little leaf, maybe perhaps some leaves in the garden. He used to walk around and lift them individually.
Well, some people have a great pride in their garden.
Would you go around and lift
No,
leaves
I mean,
individually?
No, as long as you mean people say
Railing against the world, howling against the moon because the leaves come down and fall in his garden. What were you doing? Were you cutting your grass?
I cut the grass and I clipped a hedge as well.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Why don't you take that new lawn? Apparently it doesn't grow. Does it grow?
But people, people say to me, "You have a lot of moss there.
Have you?
You should do something about that." I said, "That's just grass. It's still. I'm a bit like you. You know, as long as it's green and it's short, that's all right. I don't care what it is.
I don't see the point of gardening, really, because, what's the point? You see, the whole world is just the world is a big restaurant, basically. Everything eats everything else, and everything grows everywhere else. What's the point in controlling like 4 square yards of it? God is sitting in heaven going, the fools. I know that's cruel and heartless, and I'm sorry to Sherry McElwain.
Well, I'll just skip the boring parts, chapters 1, 2, 3, and get to the place where you can read my face and my biography. Here I am.
Did you hear that? The grass is gone already.
Dangling from my daddy's knee. There I go, it's my graduation. I'm picking up a bogus degree. That's me, early me. That's me, that's me. Well, I never cared much for money, and money never cared for me. I was more like a landlocked sailor, searching for the Emerald Sea. Just searching for the Emerald Sea, boy, searching for the sea. Oh my God, first love opens like a flower. Last light holds me in the side of her power. But tricky skies, your eyes are true. The future is beauty and sorrow. Still I wish that we could run away and live the life we used to. If just for tonight and tomorrow. Up the face of the mountain, counting every step I climb, remembering the names of the constellations. Forgotten is a long, long time. That's me, I'm in the valley of twilight. Now I'm on the continental shelf. That's me, I'm answering a question I am asking of myself.
That's a song rarely heard. That's Paul Simon, a song called That's Me from an album he had out some time ago called Surprise. Back after the news.
On 92 to 95 FM
And 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock, I'm Kerry Martin. Pressure is growing for Downing Street to reveal details of guests entertained by the Prime Minister in his flat. David Cameron has promised what he called a proper party inquiry following the resignation of the Conservatives' chief fundraiser, Peter Cruddas, who was secretly filmed offering access to the Prime Minister in exchange for six-figure donations. The Labour Shadow Minister, Michael Duggar, says Mr Cameron must be more open.
I don't think he has to publish every meeting that he has, that if it's a genuine private engagement. But the truth is, he hasn't published anything since the summer. I think we do need more transparency and more disclosure. But, we also need the independent inquiry. It is just not acceptable or credible in any way at all for the Conservative Party to investigate themselves.
A 41-year-old man's been arrested after a teenage woman was threatened at gunpoint in the Gallia area of Londonderry last night. The man is believed to have threatened another woman and her partner after making his way into their home with a gun and a petrol can. He has since been arrested on suspicion of carrying a firearm, threats to kill and having articles to commit arson. Detectives investigating the murder of Arlene Arkinson, who disappeared 18 years ago, have resumed searches in County Tyrone. A team of officers using dogs will examine sites with links to the murder inquiry. 15-year-old Arlene disappeared after a night out in Bundoran in August 1994. In 2005, a 61-year-old man stood trial for her murder but was acquitted. NATO forces in Afghanistan have confirmed that a man who shot dead 2 of their troops outside a military base in Helmand was a soldier in the Afghan army. The attacker died when coalition forces returned fire. International forces are training the Afghans to take over security in their country. Now Denise Watson's here with the sports news.
Belfast golfer Michael Hoey has won the Hassan Trophy in Morocco by 3 shots from Irishman Damien McGrain. Graham McDowell came second to Tiger Woods at the Arnold Palmer Invitational in Florida. The former England manager Glenn Hoddle is interested in leading his country again on a caretaker basis at the European Championships this summer. Hoddle managed England from 1996 until after the World Cup finals in France in 1998. Doug Christensen will coach the Belfast Giants for another 2 years. He led the Giants to the Elite League title this season in only his second season in charge. And in cricket, England continue to chip away at Sri Lanka's batsmen on day 1 of the first Test match in Galle. A short time ago, Sri Lanka were 189 for 6. BBC Sport Online has live updates at the moment.
Now with the weather forecast, here's Cecilia Daly.
The fine summer-like weather continues today with virtually unbroken sunshine for most of Northern Ireland. Mist and haze will continue to lift from the valleys but may linger at times near parts of the east coast. Temperatures away from the east coast will reach 18, 19, perhaps even 20 degrees, although the coast will be cooler with the onshore southeasterly breeze. Tonight, clear and cool, patchy mist and rural lows of 2 or 3 degrees.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In Newtownards, you can expect delays on the Cumber Road in both directions. This is because of ongoing roadworks at Blenheim Drive. The work is due to be completed by the middle of next month. Elsewhere, and in Newton Abbey, Hyde Park Road remains closed in both directions. That's until 6 o'clock tonight. Traffic is being diverted via Mollusk Road and Hightown Road. And in North Antrim, roadworks continue on the Frosses Road today at Kilrats Road roundabout. That's until 4:30. As a result, Ulster bus services will be affected between Coleraine and Belfast. For more information, you can contact Translink on 90666630. Elaine Sutherland reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, Bertie Gate, cash for questions, duck houses, now come dine with us. Is all politics on these islands corrupt, do you wonder? A family put out of their business, their home and their country by a criminal gang in Limerick. It's like the Wild West. We'll talk to the former mayor. And he ain't heavy, he's my brother, the 7-year-old boy who saved his toddler brother from drowning. Also today, do you want to know where your kids are? Do they want you to know? Might have no option now, wouldn't you know it? There's a new app to keep track of them. We'll find out more, and you can join the debate on Talkback at 12.
Thank you, Andy. This is the Coronas. This is your new single. I'm sorry, I can't talk properly. I'll try that again later.
Are we running round in circles? Begin to wonder what it's all about. Moving back and forth for too long. Don't think we ever really figured it out. But you always sound so certain, telling such colourful lies. Once again, yeah, I think that's great. But will anybody be here tonight? Mark my words, you'll know his name. If you don't act now, you'll have yourself to blame. From all that lies beside, he'll try to make them see. It's not like he did says his voice can still be heard. Mark my words, you'll know his name. If you don't act now, you'll have yourself to blame. From all that lies beside, he'll try to make them see. It's not like he didn't know before, and the love she gives just makes him want it more. I can feel it close, I can feel it close, I can feel it close to me. Feel it close to me. Mark my words, you'll know his name. And if you don't act now, you'll have yourselves to blame. I can feel it close, I can feel it close, I can feel it close to me.
Like rides that only take the toll of water running down the wall. Your nose is pressed against the glass. You left the club without a pass. To close the door, you can't get in. I don't know where the hell you've been. This behavior isn't great. Seems to me I'm always late. No matter what you have to say, it's always me that's gotta pay. You're only just a kiss away. You left me here, and yesterday's cold out here. So cold. When the night comes down, always get so lonely here in this old town. Gotta change your atmosphere. If I had wings, I'd fly my body out of here. 'Cause when you get the feeling, you need a little healing. And you just need protection, loving and affection. There's a ghost outside the window.
Don't know where he's been.
When that old cold wind blows, open the door and let him in. Oh yeah.
Someone knocking at the door. Somebody ringing the bell. Someone knocking at the door. Somebody ringing the bell.
It's an inside thing. It's an inside thing. Some hearts are made of solid gold and some are magic, I've been told. But every time that I've been kissed, I'm so aware of all the risks to take when my poor heart is bare. 'Cause there's so many things out there, even when we're miles apart. It doesn't matter where we are. 'Cause you and I knew from the start the answer is within the heart. So why you looking so surprised? You know where the truth survives. Spread your wings. Let us sing. When you see my face, better look behind my eyes. 'Cause I don't show everything I feel inside. Sometimes, boy, I've been on to wear disguise. When I get the feeling, I need a little healing. I might need protection, loving and affection. Well, if I knock on the door, you gotta let me in. And if I tap on the window, even if it's 10, I wanna hip hop all night. You know how old Boo with Paul Mac and Lulu shouting at the new school, bringing in the new grooves for students that were tardy. So if I ring your bell, it's 'cause we're having a party outside. It's getting party. So let me bring them all in, make it an inside thing.
And of course, that's Paul McCartney and Lulu of all people, and that's a song called The Inside Thing. I thought it was called The In Thing, but it's not. It's called Inside Thing. And before that was a track from the Coronas, which I cannot find. Whatever it is, I'll tell you about it later. Redmond Barry was the name of the person who starred in the film Barry Lyndon. Great film, yes it was indeed. And another person writes and says, Barry Lyndon, starring Ryan O'Neill in the part of Redmond Barry, is the biggest load of crap I left after 15 snoring minutes. That's from Norman. Thank you, Norman. So much for Thackeray. Stanley Kubrick and the art of the cinematographer. Apparently Nolan, I thought so. Apparently only ran 200 yards yesterday. So much for losing weight. Well, you see, that's what I asked him, and he was strangely evasive. He ran the media mile. You know what a media mile is?
Yes.
Media mile is 100 to 200 yards when they all photograph you, and then when they stop photographing you stop.
And by the way, you'd be a better person, and you'll feel better within yourself, I'm sure, if you would just own up to running less than you're claiming.
I can't tell a lie. I ran 8 miles
You
in the
did
New York Marathon.
not.
You don't know that.
It's on record. All people have to do is Google the New York Marathon, look for your name, and it tells you exactly how far you ran.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you what happened. Okay?
You don't have to.
Yes, you do. Because if you...
You did not run 8 miles.
I am telling you what happened. You can call me a liar if you wish.
I will not.
Let me explain exactly what happened. I came up to the point when it was a kind of an 8-mile thing.
It wasn't.
Right? And I went up and I said to the people, I'm stopping now and this is my number. And they said, okay, and they made a note of it. They did not put that through official channels. That's all I'm saying. Would I lie to you about a thing like this?
Yes.
Of course I would. I don't mind men looking at me up and down admiringly, says Michelle, but I hate those men who can't look me in the eye when I'm wearing a low-cut dress, when they're talking to me. When they're focused on my bosom, I feel like flicking them on the chin and saying, hey, I'm up here. To which one has to say, well, why do you wear the low-cut dress in the first place? We watched The Voice last night also. It was brilliant. My daughter and I have fallen in love with Will I Am. What kind of a name is that?
I don't know.
He's like a black Tim Minchin. I enjoyed him and Tom Jones name-dropping. Will I Am talked casually about working with Michael Jackson, whilst Tom Jones mentioned going to Graceland and Elvis Presley going to a music shop to get 2 guitars. And when he said Tom Jones is back at his house, the girl fainted. Such show-offs. Well, you see, that's why they're on television. You have to show off because people sitting at home stupid, don't know anything. And if they can see a man who says he knew Elvis Presley, they will love him for life as they tuck into their curry and eat their Watsits. On Saturday night, we went to see Fiddler on the Roof in Downpatrick Great Hall. What a great contrast. I must say the guy acting Tevier, you've got to... No, what's Tevier? Would it spoil some grand eternal plan if I were a rich man? I will always...
Topol, was it?
Topol was the guy who played the part of Tevier in the movie. Topol is the strangest guy. He never seems to get any older. Well, that movie was made many, many years ago, and you see him now on television. Well, I saw him not so long ago, and he just looks exactly the same as he did then. If I were a rich man, would it spoil some great eternal plan if I were a wealthy man, if I were a rich man?
Can I ask you this?
Yes?
What else is Tom Jones to talk about? But Tom, his friends, and the life that he moves and the circle he moves is Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all.
Well, it was because they're all dead.
Yeah, but you understand that's That's the people he knows.
I know, that's okay.
And, so...
I'm not complaining about that. I'm just reading out what the people are saying.
Do you know, if Tom Jones were to come on and say, I went to Brian Forbes' house and I borrowed his guitar, people say, who? You know.
I happen to know Brian Forbes. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, but...
Tom Jones'
would
cough.
Tom Jones lend him would he lend Tom Jones his guitar?
Go and do Tom Jones's cough.
Yeah. Has he coughed yet on the show?
I watched him waiting for him to cough already. He hasn't coughed. Do it again.
Tom Jones should kick his leg out when he coughs, actually.
I think he should, yeah. That's a good cough.
It's
not unusual to be loved.
What I want you to do is do the cough
unusual to be
and
loved
kick your
by
leg out. It happens naturally if you do it. Go on, do it once in a.
I'm not going to kick my leg out here.
Yeah, just a wee tiny kick. Go on, try it.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
See, just kick.
Knowing your fondness for chickens, I thought you may enjoy the following description of a poultry fair at Gosford, held this past Saturday under the fair skies, near Market Hill in Armagh. It was a wonderful event which made me proud to have returned to Northern Ireland after many years abroad, as a gentleman called Terence. You know you're into something special, he said, when you see people leaving an event holding things that weren't even supposed to be there in the first place. Hence, when I saw a family of 4 emerging with a lamb apiece from the Gosford Poultry Fair, I knew that this wasn't going to be an ordinary day because Poultry Fair does not indicate that you'll be able to buy a lamb at it. As I walked the third of a mile to the field, that's a real mile, not a media mile. As I walked a third of the mile to the field, I passed people burdened with cardboard boxes of every size, some requiring the strength of 2 people to support them. Emanating from these boxes were musical squeaks, chirps, and raw guttural avian sounds that hinted at unhappy, feathered travellers in close and crowded confinement. Others toted white feed sacks, with nondescript shapes weighted in their bottoms, swinging silently as they walked. The field itself did not disappoint me. Spread over 5 acres adjacent to a herd of red deer, it contained every manner of feathered menagerie on display in boxes, pens, coops, and cages, all animated and soaking up the spring sunshine. Can you notice the picture this paints? It must have been the weather that did it. Brought the people from miles around to spend and spend. The choice was astounding. There was every manner of breed, from homely domestic to dark exotic. Rolled out in reds didn't hardly compare to 24 black Javanese jungle fowl, a slithering mass of iridescent feathers in the sunshine. There were Japanese quails being sold by a woman from China, Rouen ducks, Toulouse geese, African guinea fowl, yellow canaries, red canaries, Lady Amherst hen pheasants, Polish top hat bantams, large English gamecocks that couldn't stop picking a fight with each other through the cage. It was around the world in 80 breeds. There were bronze turkeys, white turkeys, tumbler doves, silkies whose feathers didn't look like feathers at all but looked like bog cotton blowing in the wind, Muscovy ducks which had strange and obscene growths on their bills, red-breasted geese and harlequin ducks with painted feathers that looked as if they belonged in a zoo. Also on sale were any number of rabbits, guinea pigs, a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig about to farrow, puppies of indeterminate breed, antiques, trees and shrubs, clothing, airsoft weaponry, farm implements, tools, fried food, knickknacks, country and western music, and classic corgi cars. It seemed anything was available in this rustic bazaar. I asked a man if he had a rare Araucana blue egg layer, and lo and behold, he had one. A 1916 penny? No problem. Big Tom's first album? Well, I never asked. But it was the people who stood out equally. There was the full spectrum, from wily poultry professionals to farmers' wives and their offspring promoting their sideline. Some of them were chicken whisperers, cradling once ornery roosters who now appeared to be in some state of reverie, cradle him against their chest. I left 2 hours later with a Sevastopol goose tucked under my arm and a feed bag weighed with a layer of unusual eggs over my shoulder, and counted myself lucky I did not have a piece of string with a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig about to farrow following behind me. What a day. What a day. Someone on the line here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
Well, listen, just before we go on to what I'm ringing you about, are we ever going to hear your Elvis story?
I'm afraid not. I told the people earlier on that I was going to keep it for Pat Kenny. And then I realised that Pat Kenny was not the man for me. A young Turk came along by the name of Ryan Tubridy. I said, I'll keep it for him. And then I realised that Ryan Tubridy is just like Pat Kenny, if not worse than Gay Byrne. And I realised I'm not going to tell it to him. I have to wait for the right man. Do you know who I would tell that story to, Sean?
Yes, I know.
Tell me.
I forget his name now. The
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. That's
I'll
it.
tell it to Graham Norton because I like Graham Norton, because not only do I like Graham Norton on television, but I also like Graham Norton as a person because he's a very nice guy and a very normal kind of a guy who's you can sit and have a normal conversation with, which you can't have with a lot of the others. So I'm going to tell him if he asks me, but I may never be on the show.
Do you remember the other day we were talking about tomato juice?
Tomato juice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know...
He's fed up, you see.
No, he's not. No, Brian.
No, he knows it. We'll come back to him.
Yeah.
What's his name? Brian. Brian, we'll come back to you.
You know, I said to you, I've never tasted tomato juice.
I know.
Do you know that it comes now in cans? Little.
It always did.
No, it did not.
It always did.
Oh, it did not, did it?
Always.
I always thought it came in a bottle.
No. There's a new thing out now. You should try it. It's a kind of an unusual bottle. In many ways, it looks like, like a woman's figure. It's called Coca-Cola. You should try it sometime. It's new on the market.
Are you telling me now that when you were growing up and when I was growing up and we were getting introduced to the taste of alcohol, that tomato juice came in cans?
Not when we were growing up, but, within the last 20 or 30 years, yes.
Okay, no. It always came in a bottle.
No. You always saw it in a bottle, but it never occurred to you it might come in some other container. It came in a can as well.
It comes in little cans
Yes.
now with a wee pull ring on it.
Like a little small Coca-Cola miniatures.
Yeah.
Yes. See how surprised you are to find out. You should go into a supermarket sometime. There's a whole world in there.
No,
All kinds of different. You only see things that come out of it.
I was having a drink with a man on Friday night, and that's what he was drinking. He was drinking vodka and tomato juice.
Nearly everything that you see surprises you because you've never seen it before.
I almost asked him for a sip of his tomato juice because I didn't tell him the story. I've never
Don't
tasted
do that,
it.
man. Don't understand.
No, I didn't. I knew not to. In fact, it was in a can. I couldn't.
No, of course not. You have to put your own mouth on it.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
And you have to be very careful. A man in a bar told me that you'd never drink anything out of a can. Do you know why? Because rats pee in them.
Into the can?
No, whenever the cans,
the
cans are stored, down in the cellar, there's rats down there.
Well, sure.
Peeing all over them.
A man told me then if I just upped that story, right?
I listen. Hold on a minute. I raise you a rat's pee.
No, but it's the same thing. It's the same story, but it's about bottles.
I raise you.
Brian.
I raise you a spearmint. No, I raise you a mint in the Chinese restaurant. Can you?
No, a man said to me, Brian, that you should not. You know, why people would drink out of a bottle. You know, in pubs, they shouldn't do that either because for the same thing. Because when those bottles are being stored in warehouses,
somebody said that a moment ago. I can't think who.
No, you said about cans.
The same applies to bottles.
No, you didn't say bottles.
I didn't say bottles, but I assumed that whenever you store stuff.
People, it's fashionable to drink out of a bottle. It's fashionable. People think they're trendy, but they don't realise how unhygienic it is.
We should be. You can't have that.
No.
Listen, who's this man?
He's Brian. Ask
Brian, what do you want?
I'm trying to keep saying here. Right, okay. I'm ringing in because I'm looking for a bit of help.
Yes.
Which you usually do. Every year I ring in, and I have to say, Gerry, your show actually does come up trumps.
Well, thank you.
And if you're trying to figure out who I am, I usually do send in the odd email to you under the term dipper. I dip in and out of the show.
Oh, yes,
and here
yes.
Yes. And I'm kind of saying, if you're sitting on the end of the phone and you two just go off on one of your lovely little stories, you can't keep your concentration up for that long.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, here I go.
Yes.
I work for a group called Wish Chernobyl.
Yes.
And what we're looking for is some people to go out with us next September to help with our major project out at Orphanage 5 in Minsk.
Yes.
So the 4 people that we're actually looking for are a joiner, a plumber, an electrician, and a tiler.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is there's a little space in the orphanage that we would like to renovate to turn into a small apartment so that the young people who are leaving would spend a bit of time living in the apartment and running it as if it was their own, which we think is a great lot of life skills there to be learned.
Right.
So I'm kind of thinking here, basically you'd be away for a fortnight. And in that time we would hope to get everything done on the building end of it. Now, there is a second part, and we've just launched it this morning on our Facebook site, and it's a kind of arts program for the orphanage, working in English only. The orphanage wants us to promote English.
Yes.
And we came up with this dozen diversity days, and we're going to be doing an awful lot of different artwork. Now, for example, we've got a photographic scheme based upon some of the writings of the students. And we've actually, you couldn't believe this, we've got 2 short films coming from the writings of the students themselves.
Uh-huh.
So those are the type of people that we're looking for, who would like to come with us and spend maybe a fortnight in Belarus.
Will it cost these people any money at all?
Well, to be honest, yeah, this is a voluntary group, and we actually survive by doing our own fundraising. And we do have a kind of money target for everybody to raise, but it does cover the cost of flights, your food, and materials that we do need to undertake this type of scheme.
But see, what I'm thinking is that, if you've got a joiner or a plumber or an electrician or a tiler who happens to be off work at the moment, he probably wouldn't have much money about him. And I would say those guys would maybe consider doing that if it didn't cost them any money. But have you any idea how much would it cost them to do that?
Well, what we do, Gerry, is that we don't let people kind of go under that stress. We kind of say, if we all fundraise together, we can actually hit the target. So what we do is we can kind of sit down, and over the years, we figured out how to kind of take the stress off fundraising. Because we know for a fact that here in Northern Ireland, people are really, really generous. And there are, it is a kind of difficult time, but we can all together raise the target money that we kind of set for people.
Yeah.
What we kind of do is we've set a target, but if what happens is we might be able to lower the target if, say, somebody was able to get sponsorship from someone. It's a kind of, what would you say, a fluctuating target that if everybody works together, we hit the target, and if we raise more, it makes our job easier.
That's just to cover expenses, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically to cover expenses.
Well, that makes sense. All right, then. So anyone out there, you're looking for a joiner, a plumber, an electrician, and a tiler. You're looking for 4
and we're
different
also looking for anybody who would like to help us out with that arts program, if they feel that they would like to get involved, because it's going to cover so many aspects, of all different types of arts.
So how can people contact you?
Right, they can contact me on my mobile if you want to give it out.
No, it's up to you if you want to give it out.
Yeah, I'll give it out because
okay.
It usually 075
yes
629
yes
80809.
All right, that's 075 629 80809.
And I've left contact details. If people are listening to the show and they hear it, if they ring into your show, there's other ways of contacting us, like through Facebook and our website.
Okay, all right then. Well, so we have all the details here. Anyone who was interested in contacting you, either contact that number directly, or if you haven't got the number, or if you didn't succeed in getting it down, ring us here at 08459 555 678. Okay, sir, Thank you very much.
Oh, Gerry, just before you go,
yes?
I have one last thing, and there's an awful lot of money riding on this. Do you ever see the show 101, The Room 101?
Oh, yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, if you were to put one thing into that room, what would it be?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it would be reality shows, yeah.
We've lost there.
Wait, what would you put in?
Oh, no, that's not what I would put in. A lot of us were saying... a certain colleague of yours, I would say not too far away from you.
Oh, Sean, I forgot him now. I assumed that he'd be in it already.
No.
Nolan?
No.
Who? Who do you want me to put in the room of 101? Who? Come on, who do you think I should put in?
A colleague about 6 feet away from you.
I'm in there. Oh, no, he's in already. He was in years ago. No, he's sick in there. He's fed up in there. Oh, no, that's already done. That was the first thing I did when I came in here. All right, then. Thank you.
All the best, Gerry. Right,
bye. Bye. What a cruel thing to say.
He was a lovely person, wasn't he?
Wasn't he nice?
Yeah,
you see? Yeah. Just goes to show you warmed to him there, didn't you?
I know.
You warmed to him. I know you did. Bruce Springsteen's got a great album out now, which is called Wrecking Ball.
Men walking along the railroad track.
This is not it.
Going someplace and there's no going back. Highway patrol choppers coming up over ridge. Hot soup on a campfire in the breeze. Shelter line stretching round the corner. Welcome to the new world order. Family sleeping in the car in the southwest. No home, no job, no peace, no rest. Well, the highway is alive tonight, but nobody's kidding nobody about where it goes. I'm sitting down here in the campfire line, searching for the ghost of Tom Joe. He pulls a prayer book out of his sleeping bag. Preacher lights up a butt and takes a drag, waiting for when the last shall be first and the first shall be last. In a cardboard box neath the underpass, got a one-way ticket to the promised land. Hole in your belly and a gun in your hand, sleeping on a pillow of solid rock, bathing in the city aqueduct. The highway is alive tonight, the way it's headed everybody knows. I'm sitting down here in the campfire line, waiting on the ghost of Tom Joe. Tom said, Mom, wherever there's a cop beating a guy, wherever a hungry newborn baby cries, there's a fight against the blood and hatred in the air. Look for me, Mom, I'll be there. There's somebody fighting for a place to stay, a decent job or a helping hand, maybe somebody struggling to be free. Look in the eyes, Mom, you'll see me. The highway is alive tonight, but nobody's kidding nobody about where it goes. I'm sitting down here in the campfire line, with the ghost of old Tom Joe.
That's Bruce Springsteen, of course. That's The Ghost of Tom Joad from an album called The Ghost of Tom Joad. I was talking about his new album, which is called Wrecking Ball, during the course of which he takes on the Fat Cats. The last time he took on the Fat Cats, really, in any great fashion, was The Ghost of Tom Joad. I don't have the new album. Do you have Bruce Springsteen's new album?
No.
Right.
But we'll probably have access to it.
We have access to it, but I prefer to have the album itself.
Oh,
A person wants to say hello to you from Tokyo, Japan.
Who's that?
Gentleman writes to me and he said, I was talking to a fan of the show in Tokyo last week. Ruth Mulvena, formerly from Belfast, especially wants to say something to Sean. And this is what it is. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa. That's what she says. Maybe you don't. Maybe you know what that means. Some kind of secret code between you and her.
No.
Konnichiwa. I don't know what that means. Probably means something horrible. Up, Gorchin! Yelled Tommy, my cat, as he kicked a small nondescript turnip through the window. I beat the swagger stick against my jack boots and roared, Achtung, Herr Bertie, Herrn, Achtung, kaputt! Tommy giggled and said, Bertie is resigned. He wants to spend more time with his envelopes. Corruption, I yelled. Runs through politicians like the word Bundoran runs through a stick of rock. Politicians are weak, said Tommy. Thank God it hasn't reached Ulster yet. I blame property developers, speculators and too much fluoride in the drinking water. Rubbish, I yelled, ever since the Greeks invented democracy and the kebab. Greed has led to the downfall of many a politician. Fluoride, said Tommy. Greed, I roared. A hoarse cough announced the arrival of Gregory. Londonderry Campbell! Stop that noise, roared Gregory. Use is worse than a UUP convention. Dear Gregory, I said, where do you stand in corruption? Are you for it or against it? Gregory's face took on the complexion of a turkey and he roared, by the sacred gates of Londonderry, I detest greed and corruption with every bone in my Ulster Scots body. The biggest, greediest corrupter in Ulster today is Stephen Nolan. Time and time I ask how much he earns, and time he tells me, no, I'm not telling you, I'm not allowed to. The greed and avarice of Nolan is beyond belief, a grasping mercenary miser. And that's the good part. He may well be, said Tommy, but he loves his mother and keeps 300 workers in a job at the Prawn Cocktail Crisps factory in Nuneaton. By Lundy's flame-retardant drawers, I said. I'd like to know his salary. I peered at Gregory through my eyebrows and said, as a matter of fact, I happen to know an accountant at the BBC who knows the salary of everyone in the BBC, including Gerald Michael Anderson, whom is throwing a pittance every now and again. For a wad of bribery, this man will divulge all their salaries. Gregory turned his back, began stuffing money into a brown envelope from a tartan wallet, whilst yelling hysterically, I know it's wrong, but I have to know. I will become part of the brown envelope brigade, but I must know how much they earn, those swine. 2 days later, a letter arrived. Gregory tore it open with his Ulster Scots teeth, gave a little cough and read, Stephen Nolan receives a salary commensurate with any fat boy of the same talent, girth, weight, appetite, gluttonous tendencies, and failure to run a mile. Gregory gave a hoarse Ulster Scots shriek and said, hoist by my own petard! If that brown envelope is traced back to me, I'll be hung out to dry like a pair of cheap knickers. Cursed Nolan, and my unnatural desire to know his salary. I ride now to Londonderry to shout, shut that gate! Shut that gate! Look at the book in here! Shut that gate! Give us one, shut that gate!
Shut that gate?
That's not the same.
What?
Gregory.
Shut that gate!
Look at the book in here!
Well, there's a call for you.
You're no fun.
I have to tell you, there's a man waiting his last 15 minutes.
What do you want to do? Sell a door for an Austin miner or something? What is it? Was he looking for a meat safe?
It's Emma's department.
What is
No, that's
yeah, it is something like that, isn't it?
No,
go say shut that door and shut that gate.
For
look at the muck in here and shut that gate.
Look at the muck in here. When you shut that gate, shut that bloody. No, I wouldn't say that. Shut that. When you shut that gate.
The apprentice.
Hey, you apprentice boy, shut that gate. 2.
Lord Sugar. Don't shut that gate. Get the money off him. Don't shut that gate for nothing. Look at the book in here.
Let's get a good catch.
I'm the voice. I'm the voice.
I'm the voice. The voice.
He said that this program is called The Voice. I am called The Voice. I'm the voice.
Yeah. Right. Tom Jones.
Yeah.
I'm the voice. No, it didn't begin Tom Jones.
No, he said
Tom Jones.
He said this program is called The Voice.
This program is called The Voice.
In Wales, I'm known as.
In Wales, I am the voice.
I'm the voice.
And kick my leg out.
Okay, Emma's enjoying herself today. It's not easy for her.
No.
Hello, good morning, sir. Why is there nobody there?
Because it's 2.
Oh, that's why there's nobody there. Hello, is there someone here? There.
Yes, it's Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy, don't be so touchy. What's wrong with you?
Well,
see, his battery's probably run out. His battery's run out.
Is it?
I would imagine. So he's waiting that long.
Jimmy, he's not there. Will you get?
No,
will you get him back?
That was terrible.
I know it wasn't my fault. It's the machinery.
Right.
The machinery lets me down.
I am the voice.
I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced her to my loved one, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz. I know now just what I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. Oh, the beautiful Tennessee waltz.
Isn't that nice? That's a young lady, and she is very young, Zolene, and I think she's only about 17 or 18. That's the Tennessee Waltz, of course. I played that because she had another little song called The Antrim Coast Road, which people seem to like quite a lot. What?
There's a wee call. I just
I
want
hate
to
it when you
there's a
do
wee
that.
call.
You make a
no,
click,
I
make a
would
clicking sound. What is that? It
I
annoys me.
tried to be polite.
But it doesn't work with you.
Try to be polite and just click your ear. I would have preferred that girl there too if just sang that song straight. And she's a beautiful voice. I am the voice.
The Japanese that you spoke, I think it simply means hello.
Hello.
I know a little Japanese. He's sitting right beside me. Reminds me of the story about a German man in court. No one could speak German except one fellow in the spectators' gallery put his hand up. He stands before the accused and he says, "What is your name?" They threw him out for being cheeky. Listen, I've got another email here. Well, I can't find it now, but it's to the extent of because you were doing some impersonations there. You promised some time ago that you'd do some musical versions of songs sung by Roy Walker and people like that. Where are they?
Well, I'll tell you where they are. Where? We hear that? We were to come in here some night and talk about
But sure, you have to do them. It's not me does them. You do them. It's me. You do the impersonations, not me.
I want to do Roy Walker doing Two Little Boys, but it requires another voice because there's a reply. There's a
Oh, you mean you want me to come in and record it with you?
Yes, you have to be the other wee boy.
Well, why don't you get your people to speak to my people and we'll organise something?
Well, I have a man on standby.
What man's that?
The Undertone.
Really?
The Undertone's ready.
Is he?
Barkus is willing.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I'm available some
right
periods
then.
this week.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, I didn't realise I was holding you back.
If you get a
I
window
just
of
thought you were. I
opportunity.
just thought you were procrastinating.
No.
Or even wasting time.
You're the boy that's doing that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why didn't you tell me I was wasting my time?
Look, there's a man waiting for you.
It's too many things, so little
Please.
time. I watched Dancing on Ice every night and voted 15 times last night for Georgie. Stop that. A person pondering the story and can't believe that Elvis would have no guitars in his house. Why has my TV guide been rehashing the same page for 10 years? Because it figures you don't notice. Gerry, I googled the NYC New York City Marathon male finisher results and no one by the name of Gerald Michael Anderson or Gerald Michael Anderson or Gerry Anderson or Gerald Anderson is listed. Let him warm out of this one. It's the official marathon site. It's discrimination.
No, we checked it and you are listed.
It's because I'm a Catholic, that's what it is.
No, you're listed.
Class song, Gerry, the boss. Play more of them songs. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Yes, hello, how are
It's
you?
Mickey Todd here.
Hello, Mickey, how are you?
I've got a sore throat, man.
Oh,
Listen,
terrible, yeah, go ahead.
Tom Jones name dropping. And you've a cheek to slag him off.
I'm not slagging him off.
And everybody else. Oh, come on.
I'm not slagging him off. I'm just reading things that people send me. I'm not slagging him off. I'm just saying that he's good. He's just, he's nothing wrong with him name dropping. Did I say anything wrong with it?
Yeah, you.
I read out stuff.
You've told us, as Mickey said, Chris Christopher's a big buddy of yours. You've been at a private party with Elvis.
Yes, exactly, yes.
You know Elton John.
I never said I knew Elton John.
Do you have an Elton John story?
I haven't. I haven't. Elton. No, I have not.
You have an
No,
Elton John story.
keep out of
that's-
the papers. I'm Elton John.
The Elton John story is not for the radio, but he has an Elton John story.
Yes, I have.
He has.
But I also have an Elvis story, which I'm not going to let it go so easily. Cast my pearl before swine. Not implying that any of the two of you are swine, of course. I'm just not going to tell that story to anybody.
Oh, then the one about Elvis borrowed your guitar because he had none in his house.
I mean, that's hard to believe, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it? I
It's
find that
hard to believe that all these superstars come to see you.
No, that's it. That is hard to believe. But I'm not saying all these superstars. I did meet Elvis, but I didn't. He didn't come to me. I stumbled upon him.
And you also met the girl with the long hair.
What girl with the long hair is that?
The singer with the long hair.
Oh, the Indian girl. Rita Coolidge.
Rita
yeah.
Coolidge, you
No,
also
no,
met
she was
Rita
lovely.
Coolidge,
Yeah.
yes,
That's
yes.
the time she was going out with Chris Christopherson.
Yeah.
We were a couple.
Was she the girl you spotted? Who was the girl you spotted at the fridge?
That's not Yoko Ono.
It was Yoko Ono. No,
Yeah.
there's some. I
Yoko
don't like
Ono.
to say this.
John
but
Lennon and Yoko Ono.
There was you were in the house and you came down during the night. To
Oh,
get
yes!
This, and this person was standing in front of the fridge.
Naked.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Well,
yes.
I'll say the person was lying naked in front of stand naked in front of the fridge
Yeah, who
because it
was
was
that
during
girl?
the summer and she wanted to cool herself off.
Who was that? That was a girl.
Do you think I'm going to tell you who that was?
Oh, you did tell us before, and I forget.
I didn't tell you
I thought
before.
it was Rita Coolidge.
No, it was not her. It was Marilyn Monroe. Anyway, what do you want, sir?
Anyway, I have actually sang with Elvis.
How did you do that? And tell me the story.
Well, I was in the shower and he was on the radio.
Well, yes, thank you for that. So it wasn't a personal thing; it was just a lifestyle choice, as far as you were concerned.
And I want to ask you something, Jai, too.
Yes.
I can work this out for me.
Mm-hmm.
You see the girl with the rolls of turf?
Yes.
I'm just assuming her next door neighbour would have the same size garden.
Mm-hmm.
And if she looked over and seen her nice her garden was,
Mm-hmm.
and just said to her, how many rolls did you get? And she said, I got 120.
Yeah.
But if the same girl goes, if she gets 120, she'll have 60 left over as well.
Yes. What's
I'm
this
not sure
about?
where this is going.
You finished now?
I'm finished now.
Well, thank you very much.
If you see Elvis, tell him I wasn't asking for him.
All right then. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's a non-call, I
Yes,
think.
there's a call on one.
Is it a normal person?
That was the man. No, it's two. It's two. Sorry, it's the man whose phone went down.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy, good morning, Jimmy. I think we were cut off.
Good morning, Gerry.
Jimmy, how are you? Jimmy, you're my man. You're the man who breeds those lovely wee dogs, the Lhasa Apsos.
That's right, Gerry.
How are you?
And I have one, and she's pregnant at the moment.
Nothing to do with me. Yes?
Yes, but that's not what I'm phoning you about, Gerry.
Yes?
Gerry, you and Sean are jealous of Tom Jones.
Well, I think that's fairly obvious.
Yes, because I'll tell you why, Gerry. Because all the girls take off their pants and their knickers and they throw them up on the stage, and even the gas girls don't even take off their knickers and throw them up to you when you're on the stage.
I must tell the people who do not know that the Gas Girls are the Gerry Anderson Appreciation Society.
That's right, Gerry.
who are still-
That's right.
who are still-
A very, very nice bunch of girls they are too.
And indeed, a numerous
Yes.
bunch. No, they don't do that. Well, you see, some of them, they'd be too heavy. Some of those knickers would be too heavy to throw up. You'd need an Olympic shot putter to throw some of those up. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yes, well observed, Mr. Coyle. Of course, you have a Tom Jones story, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you told that?
Oh, I told it.
Something to do with the dressing gown?
Yeah, but I'm keeping that for. I want you to arrange it this time for me to meet Tom Jones in Belfast. I want to tell Tom Jones that story.
Well, I did meet Tom Jones many years ago, and a nice guy he was too.
Is he?
He was a bit of a raver at that stage, I have to say.
I was reading about him at the weekend.
He was no stranger to the drink.
Apparently, a very generous person.
Well, I would say so.
Very
yeah,
caring
I'd say
person.
So. No, he seemed a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very
Gerry, I
good-natured.
met him myself, so I did.
Where?
At
Everybody
Dundonald, there used to be a picture house and it changed into a dance hall.
Yes.
And Tom Jones came to it,
Mm-hmm.
and so did Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah, stablemates.
And
Yeah.
I met the both of them at different times, of course.
Yeah. And if you had a choice between the two of them, who would you pick?
Oh, I would pick Tom Jones.
Really? Yeah.
I would, definitely.
Of course, Engelbert's all right too, but Tom Jones would be more of a friendlier kind of a guy, I think.
Yes, he was very, very nice. Me and my mate met him, Terry Turrell.
Yes.
And me and him met Engelbert Humperdinck. And then I met Tom Jones. I don't think Terry was with me then.
Uh-huh.
And he was absolutely fantastic, Gerry.
Yeah, yeah.
But we stood and we talked for about half an hour or so.
Uh-huh.
You know, he was really, really nice now.
I saw him when he first came to prominence, really, by accident. I was living in Manchester. I was only like 16 or 17 or something like that. Sean is doing the math now as we speak.
No.
No, you're right.
No,
I can see you lifting the pencil.
No, I'm interested in these Tom Jones stories.
Well, you see, Tom Jones first came to public view, really, I suppose, there was a tour one time, a big pop tour, and Tom Jones just had a record out at the time called It's Not Unusual, and it hadn't been in the charts or anything, and it was just out, and he was a comer, as they say. And do you remember PJ Proby?
Yeah.
PJ Proby was headlining the tour, and PJ Proby split his trousers during the course of the tour, and there was a great scandal about this. At that time, people didn't want people to split their trousers, and he was taken off the tour. And at the last moment, this new young guy was put in. And the next concert they had, the first concert they had after PJ Proby was fired off the tour, was in Manchester. I think it was, where was it, Manchester? It was Free Trade. No, it was some cinema in Manchester. I think it was the ABC in Ardwick. That was it, the ABC in Ardwick. And I went along because I was a big PJ Proby fan, and PJ Proby wasn't there, but I had the ticket anyway, so I went. And I saw Tom Jones singing, "It's Not Unusual to Be Loved by Anyone." That's the first time anybody had ever really seen him. And then the record was a huge record, and I think the tour helped him a lot. So I seen him when he was Tom Jones and the Squires. He had a band
Squires,
with
that's
him.
right, yeah.
So there we are. Jimmy, God bless you, my son. And may you continue to meet stars of the firmament. All right, then.
Thank you very much, Gerry.
See you later. Bye.
Right, bye.
Bye. Bye.
I drink good coffee every morning. Comes from a place that's far away. When I'm done, I feel like talking. Without you here, there is less to say. I don't want you thinking I'm unhappy. What is closer to the truth? That if I lived till I was 102, I just don't think I'll ever get over you. I'm no longer moved to drink strong whiskey. I shook the hand of time, and I knew that if I lived till I could no longer climb my stairs, I just don't think I'll ever get over you. Face it dances and it haunts me. Laughter still ringing in my ears. I still find pieces of your presence here. Even Don't want you thinking that I don't get asked to dinner. 'Cause I'm young to say that I sometimes do. Even though I may soon feel the touch of just don't think I'll ever get over you. If I lived till I was 102, I just don't think I'll ever get over.
Oh, isn't that nice? It's a nice little song. I didn't actually mean to play that one. I meant to play one a wee bit quicker. But that's Colin Hay, who I believe was in Belfast recently. That's called I Just Don't Think I'll Ever Get Over You. Some messages here before we go, coming up to 12 o'clock. Gerry, myself and my wife going to Stroke City at Easter. Never been before. Could you please give us some places to visit? Any particular golf course they should go to? Sorry, hello?
No, I was trying to take...
Hello, I'm the presenter.
Yeah, I know presenter, but
hello, everyone.
I was trying to take a call from someone who listens to your programme. They just happen to say that Brenton Quinn and Tom Jones are big pals.
Is that a fact?
Yes. And if you ever want to know any stories about Tom Jones, talk to Brendy.
Yeah, but he mightn't want to give anything away.
No, he probably wouldn't.
Konnichiwa!
Yes.
Means hello, good day, good morning. It's a general Japanese greeting, so nothing sordid about that. Konnichiwa has two meanings, or good afternoon, or hello. The word is Japanese. I would have guessed that myself. Person come to Stroke City in Easter, where would they go? Any good golf courses? They could go, well, the best thing to do is walk across the Peace Bridge, go to Ermington Square, and very interesting. That's a day in itself. Just walk around, have a look at the river, spend your time down by the river. Then there are various restaurants, various pubs. What's your favourite pub in Derry, Stoke, Londonderry?
Me?
Hello?
Yes.
This is the radio programme.
Yes.
Anyone? What's your favourite pub in Derry, Stoke, Londonderry? You don't want to say.
No, it's
that's all right. No, we can't say because we don't have time, and so it's unfair to the others. We'll be back tomorrow.